My name is Liv Thompson with your top stories for today. A Labour MSP has backed mental health campaigner calls for designated A&E departments for mental health patients and a complete overhaul of NHS services. This comes after more than 13,000 people were admitted to hospital after attending emergency departments across the country in 2023. Our reporter Amanda Crawford has more.
Cara McKeown lost her partner Luke Henderson to suicide in December 2017. She and her family had begged services 8 times in the week leading up to his death for help. She has since tirelessly campaigned for a total reform of mental health services, including for an A&E specific to treating mental health.
An accident emergency, when you're going in for mental health, it's busy. There's a lot of people. There are a lot of people about, and when it's mental health, you could be sitting there thinking everybody's looking at me and they're judging me, and that can be even more traumatic for a person that's experiencing poor mental health, or in Luke's case psychosis, where we had to kind of sit outside in the car and where one of us had to wait inside for him to be called and things like that. There was no safe space where we could keep him safe.
Kirsty and Scott Solomon from Drumchapel are also actively campaigning for an A&E designated to children's mental health. They launched their charity Stand With Kyle now after their son Kyle attempted suicide at just 10 years old.
The children that are struggling now are going to be the adults that are struggling later. And adult mental health services are already not coping. And the number of children that are needing services just now has increased, which then means that the number of adults that are going to need adult services in the future is going to increase. And if they're already not coping, what does the future hold then?
Together the family met Paul Sweeney, Labour MSP, to discuss the proposal.
It certainly chimes with some of the thinking that, certainly myself and the team in Labour are looking at. We've been engaged, for example, with the Edinburgh Children's Hospital charity around a pilot they're running called The Haven, which is a designated space for treating young people's mental health conditions urgently and in a specialised facility that is accessible without referral. And I think that's something we really need to look at expanding.
Amanda Crawford reporting for UWS News.
Amanda joins us in the studio now to talk more about the current mental health crisis. Amanda, what more can you tell us about the crisis?
So there does seem to be limited information that is specific to adult mental health services. However, what we do know is that in the final quarter of 2023, 80.6% of people of all ages who were referred for psychotherapies were starting treatment within the 18 weeks of their referral.
And what about the Haven at Edinburgh Children's Hospital?
It started up in September 2023 and supports children between the ages of 8 and 18 with mild to moderate ill mental health. It can help with things like insomnia, friendships and confidence building.
And do you think that this could be the solution for children and adult mental health services going forward?
I don't think so. It isn't what these families want. That project covers a very specific catchment area in East Lothian. And while it's offering great facilities to young people there, it just isn't the 24-hour crisis centre that people affected by suicide want to see. However, the model may be something to build on, which is what we now know Paul Sweeney is keen to explore.
What then about Karen's petition?
So this is Karen's second petition calling for a total reform of mental health services. But what's even more interesting about Karen's determination is that after her first rejection, she went away and took herself back to university to ensure that she has the academia and research behind her to strengthen her campaign in Luke's name. The Petitions Committee intends to meet in May and it's expected to make a call on whether to order a full review of the services, and I will be there for the outcome.
Thanks, Amanda. And now for the rest of today's top stories.